Hey there, adventure seekers. Have you ever wondered about the daring voyages that changed the course of history and shaped our world as we know it? Today, we're setting our sights on the Age of Discovery, a pivotal period in history marked by exploration, innovation, and the thirst for knowledge. At the heart of this era was the audacious Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer whose name is synonymous with exploration and discovery. Born in a time when the world as we know it was just beginning to take shape, Columbus was driven by a burning desire to chart new territories and expand the known world. His mission? To find a new trade route to the Indies and bring back the treasures of the East. Christopher Columbus, an ambitious Italian explorer, set sail from Spain in search of a new trade route to the Indies. His journey was about to change the world forever, setting the stage for a new era of exploration and discovery. In 1492, armed with his unwavering determination and a small fleet of ships, Columbus embarked on a treacherous journey across the Atlantic Ocean. The sea, vast and unyielding, was a formidable opponent. Columbus and his crew faced the relentless onslaught of nature, with storms battering their ships and threatening to send them to the watery depths below. But the elements were not the only adversaries on this voyage. The specter of scarcity loomed over the ship's crew as provisions dwindled with each passing day. The rationing of food and water was a harsh reality that tested the mettle of even the most hardened sailors. The threat of starvation and dehydration was ever present, a grim reminder of the perilous journey they had undertaken. Yet, perhaps the most daunting challenge was the psychological battle. The fear of the unknown gripped the crew as they ventured further into uncharted waters. Whispers of sea monsters, edge of the world, and eternal damnation filled the air, fueling a contagion of fear and doubt among the men. The horizon, instead of promising hope, seemed to mock them with its endless expanse of water, offering no sign of land. But Columbus, steadfast in his resolve, refused to yield. He rallied his men, quelling their fears with promises of glory and riches. His unwavering belief in his mission became the beacon that guided them through the darkest hours. His conviction, as much as his navigational skills, kept them moving forward. Through the perils of storms, fear of the unknown, and months at sea, he pressed on, driven by the dream of discovery. Each day brought them closer to their destiny, each challenge overcome a testament to their determination. Columbus's first voyage was more than just a journey across the ocean. It was a leap into the unknown, an audacious quest that would forever change the course of history. Columbus completed 4 transatlantic voyages, opening up a new chapter in world exploration. The first voyage was a voyage of discovery, an expedition into the unknown. It was a journey of great peril and even greater discovery, leading Columbus to an entirely new world that was previously unknown to Europeans. The subsequent voyages were no less remarkable. Columbus and his crew encountered a bewildering array of new species, cultures, and riches. They discovered exotic plants that were unlike anything they had seen before in Europe. They encountered new animal species, some of which were so strange and marvelous that they seemed like creatures out of myth and legend. But perhaps the most astonishing discovery of all was the people they encountered. These were the indigenous peoples of the New World, diverse cultures that had evolved in isolation from the rest of humanity for thousands of years. They had their own languages, religions, and ways of life. They were skilled farmers, hunters, and artisans. They had societies that were complex, sophisticated, and profoundly different from anything Columbus and his crew had ever seen. These encounters were not always peaceful or respectful. There were misunderstandings, conflicts, and injustices. But there were also moments of connection, curiosity, and mutual respect. These encounters were a meeting of two worlds, a collision of cultures that would have profound and lasting impacts on both sides. Columbus's voyages were driven by a thirst for knowledge and a hunger for wealth. They were voyages of exploration and conquest, voyages that brought together people and cultures that had been separated by vast oceans and thousands of years of history. They were voyages that changed the world. During his subsequent journeys, he would come face to face with the diverse indigenous peoples and treasures of the New World, including exotic plants, new animal species, and unimaginable riches. These voyages into the unknown revealed a world that was richer, more diverse, and more complex than anyone in Europe could have imagined. They unveiled a new world, a world that would forever change the course of human history. But Columbus's arrival also brought about a clash of civilizations, forever altering the indigenous cultures and the land they called home. This was a time of exploration, of discovery, but it was also a time of conquest and colonization. As Columbus laid claim to these newfound lands, he set the stage for centuries of European expansion into the Americas. The indigenous peoples of the New World, from the Tainos in the Caribbean to the Aztecs and Incas in Central and South America, had cultures that were rich, diverse, and deeply rooted in the land. These cultures, however, were not prepared for the onslaught of foreign diseases, warfare, and the relentless drive for resources that came with the European explorers. The arrival of Columbus and subsequent explorers led to a drastic decline in the indigenous population. It's estimated that in the 50 years following Columbus's initial voyage, the indigenous population of the Americas was reduced by as much as 90%. This was due in large part to disease, but also to forced labor and violent conflicts. And yet, in the face of this devastation, the indigenous peoples showed incredible resilience. They adapted, they resisted, and they survived. Their cultures evolved, blending with the new European influences to create unique hybrid societies and traditions that continue to thrive today. But let's not forget, Columbus's voyages didn't just change the course of history for the indigenous people. They also marked the beginning of a global age of exploration and colonization that would reshape the entire world. From the Americas to Africa, Asia, and Oceania, cultures clashed and mingled, leading to a world that was more interconnected, yet also more divided than ever before. It's essential to remember the complexity of this era as we strive to understand the impact it had on both sides of this extraordinary encounter. The legacy of Columbus is a double-edged sword, a tale of discovery and exploration, but also of conquest and devastation. As we delve into this fascinating chapter of history, let's keep in mind the many perspectives, the triumphs and the tragedies that make up the fabric of our shared past. While Columbus's voyages undeniably had a profound impact on history, they also raised questions about colonization, cultural exchange, and the consequences of exploration. The discovery of the New World marked the onset of a period of European dominance, but also ushered in an era of conquest and exploitation. The indigenous people, who had thrived for centuries, were suddenly faced with alien diseases, forced labor, and cultural eradication. Yet, amidst these dark chapters of history, there were instances of cultural exchange and learning. Columbus brought back with him not just gold and spices, but knowledge of new civilizations, their customs, and their ways of life. This sparked an interest in the Old World, leading to a greater understanding of our diverse planet. However, the story doesn't end there. The repercussions of Columbus's voyages continue to resonate today. The cultural diversity that we see in the Americas is a testament to the resilience of the indigenous communities. They managed to preserve their traditions and identities despite the overwhelming forces of colonization. So, what can we learn from Columbus's voyages? For starters, they teach us about the indomitable human spirit, the thirst for discovery, and the determination to overcome obstacles. But they also remind us of the perils of unchecked ambition and the importance of respecting different cultures. As we reflect on these voyages, we must remember that history is not just about heroes and villains, but about understanding the complexities of human actions and their consequences. We must strive to learn from our past to ensure that history does not repeat itself. Today, as we explore the diverse countries and cultures that emerged from Columbus's expeditions, let us not forget the lessons history has taught us: to celebrate unity, respect, and understanding. By acknowledging the past and embracing diversity, we can hope to create a world that is richer, more inclusive, and more respectful of cultural differences. So, my fellow adventurers, let's embark on this virtual voyage together. As we sail through the narrative sea, we've journeyed with Christopher Columbus, a man whose ambition and determination forever changed the course of human history. We've navigated the turbulent waters of his daring voyages and witnessed the unveiling of a new world, rich in diversity and teeming with life. We've also grappled with the double-edged sword of exploration, understanding the complex interplay of cultures and the profound effects of his arrival on indigenous societies. These historical narratives remind us of the lessons we've learned. They invite us to reflect on the complexities of colonization, the spirit of discovery, and the enduring power of cultural exchange. Each story is a beacon, illuminating our path towards unity, respect, and understanding. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like and share this incredible journey with your friends. Stay tuned for more captivating stories that will leave you inspired and hungry for knowledge. Until next time, happy exploring.